Good. I don't hear you.
There we go. Unmute. There. Am I sideways still?
No, you're upright now.
Let me see if I put it up there. Because, of course, it's load shedding now.
1023, control at on.
Now, I'm probably going to lose the connection, but it'll reconnect as soon as I get off of the radio. I'm going to ask Andre to just do the call-ins on Hotel 2 as well.
1025, control at 1026, control at 1. Echo 3, control at 1.
Yeah, he's calling Rory.
It appears that things are a bit silent this evening. I'll just check any stations that join us late. If you'd like to check in, please go ahead. Control standing by. Alright, these are a bit silent this evening. So the stations that have responded and all other stations that can hear us, please switch over to Hotel 2 and we'll do the check-in there. Control signing out of Hotel 1.
Yeah, Andre, I think just call for anybody that is there. There's only one up tonight, so just see if anybody can hear you.
We'll start on Hotel 2, 1001, control Hotel 2.
If I lose you, or if you lose me, just stick around. I'll be back now. 1009, I think. It's probably going to disconnect again, so just give me a mo, okay? All right, thanks, Andre. Let's. Okay, and you should hear me. How's it, Adrian? You well?
Ah, bit of back pain and stuff like that. So yeah, not feeling too perky, but yeah, I've been busy the weekend quite extensively, so it's probably the aftermath of that.
I was going to say, is it not also maybe because of the fact that the weather's changed?
I don't think so. Now, putting up quite a hot day in or morning in yesterday, and thereafter it was so we had some visitors for the day. Had a nice braai. But now I have taken some of the painkillers again, so I am not too perky at the moment.
Yeah. Listen, I see you said you can't make that meeting on the 3rd. Are you away or what?
What's that, Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm working, Chad. I'm a working man nowadays. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because we've got only one car running at the moment, and Arena's got the car, so I try Monday, Wednesday, Fridays to be at work. So I'm mostly out of town on those.
Yes, it's such a pity, China. Adrian, things are moving. They are moving like you cannot believe. John Stephen Darren went through to the Aeronautical Rescue Coordination Center's training.
Okay. I saw the pictures, yeah.
So that was a good thing. We had an exceptionally brilliant meeting with the chief of the ARRC. I think I almost told you. With the way that it sounded at that meeting, our application should go through the subcommittee without any problem and then move through the executive as well. So I think by the end of the year, that application should be completed. Did I tell you I had a good meeting with disaster management?
No, we haven't spoken a lot in the past 2 weeks.
Dude, I had a meeting with Aaron from
Yeah.
Regions last week, Thursday, for about an hour and a half. And okay, I've met the guy before, and you know, he knows that I come from the amateur background and all the rest of it, so I quickly cleared that issue up. But then explained our concept, our vision, and everything else. He's now put together this next, and this is going to be a very big and important meeting on the 3rd of May. This time with Lucia, the Director of Disaster Management has now accepted the meeting request, so that's on his agenda. So he will definitely be there, there's no doubt about it. The whole concept of Region C and everything else is going to be discussed at this meeting as well. No, there's a lot happening, eh? There's a mud of a lot happening. I've asked for a memorandum of understanding between ourselves and City of Joburg DM to start off with. And of course, as you know, we've got the search and rescue application in as well. So, yeah, no, it's good, eh? I'm moeg though. Fuck it, I'm tired, China. I've been meeting after meeting, and none of this is income generating at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, the IT is now finished, definitely.
No, I'm planning on to fly down to Cape Town on the 11th, me and Nareen. Be at the young one's birthday on the on the weekend, and then drive. I'm purchasing my daughter's car because they are leaving for Dubai. Her husband is already starting 1st of May in Dubai already, and she will only leave end of July as far as I know. So I will be not so transport strapped, but now I've lost my capability, my basic off-road capability with the Santa Fe. Still waiting. I'll have the vehicle recovered this week to my house. Still trying to find a replacement engine for it. So hopefully we can get resurrected eventually. and really trying to get one of the places sold in Mukupong, which that will actually generate a lot of capital, but that is not.
That's me.
No, but there's some activity on the same radio, on the CPF side over here. I still need to try and determine, because I find I receive more than one CPF on this frequencies. Are you with me? Are you frozen? Are you back again? But you're still.
This is the ZS6 IPS. Now kicking off the weekly net. Let's hear who's out there this evening. If Adrian, you can hear me on 2 meters, just confirm with a thumbs up. This is ZS6 IPS standing by. Okay, so I think it was ZS6 FPS, a lot of rain on the signal tonight, and I've got ZS6 SNY. Are there any other check-ins? ZS6 IPS standing by.
I need to recover that vehicle. Okay, carry on.
All right, due to load shedding, I'm going to take this as the second last call for check-ins so that we can get started. I am on handheld as well, so I don't want to run all my battery power down. ZS6 IPS standing by.
I need to recover my vehicle because there's a number of inverters and stuff like that still packed in the vehicle, and radios and stuff like that. So I need to recover it back home.
How come you didn't take that out before they took it?
Oh, look, wait, it's in a secure place, but I need to get it home now because he's just filling up the repair shop's place at the moment. So yeah, while we're looking for an engine, he's looking, I'm looking.
Okay, last call for check-ins. ZS6 IPS standing by. All right, nothing else heard. Let's get started. Greetings to one and all and welcome to this week's net. Today is Sunday, 23rd of April, 2023. And the time is 19 at the moment, 04. We begin the weekly net with the amateur radio check-ins on the Roodepoort repeater for 5 minutes before proceeding. This net is broadcast every Sunday evening starting at 1900 and is broadcast for the benefit of radio amateurs, disaster relief volunteers, and members of the general public and other interested parties. Everyone is welcome to participate using either amateur radio or Zoom, or both if you so choose. Okay, ZS6 IPS. I'd like to remind all radio amateur listeners who have not checked in that you do not need to be a member of any group or club to check in or to use the repeater or any of the other amateur radio bands. I'd also like to encourage all listeners, ZS6IP is returning. I'd also like to encourage all the listeners and participants to share the Weekly Net Zoom link with everyone they know throughout the country. Going back to the radio amateurs not checking in, as I said, I'd like to remind you that you do not need to get anybody's permission or be a member of any group, body, entity, or otherwise to be able to join the net. All that is required of you, of course, is your ICASA license. This gives you the full right to utilize all of the bands at any time of your choosing, and you do not need to, as I say, get permission from anybody else. And of course, by sharing the Weekly Net Zoom link with everybody, you will help us grow the Weekly Net, and it will also contribute to dissemination, or the dissemination of information as far and wide as possible. Okay, ZS6IP is returning. As we unpack the COVID-19 figures globally this week, fortunately, the World Health Organization have created a sort of mini dashboard. So globally, we had 763,740,140 cases that have been reported to the World Health Organization as at 11:05 on the 19th of April. Because it's the first week, I can't give the increase, so we'll only report on the increases next week and have a look to see, compared week on week. However, the global death toll now stands at 6,908,554. Moving on to Mpox, as at the 19th of April, the cases are now standing at 87,045. Compared to last week's figures of 86,930. It's an increase of 115 new cases. So, compared to the previous week of 30, but there were probably delays in that in the reporting. We'll have to look and see after all the long weekends and that, but it seems to be a steady and gradual increase that is taking. ZS6IP is returning, that is taking place on a weekly basis. Therefore, let's move on to measles. With regards to measles, following the current outbreak of measles in the country, I'm including the weekly figures in the interest of public health. And as at the 20th of April 2023, South Africa now has a total of 961 cases that have been reported compared to last week's 951 cases. This is an increase of 10 cases, so it's not that high an increase as I expected, although this now is still up till the 20th of April, which means that the Easter weekend probably has not been included as yet. South Africa is late with regards to adding their cases. So on a week-by-week basis, I have to readjust in order to get the figures to balance out. However, Limpopo is still leading with the highest number of cases of 398, as opposed to the last week's report of 393. The Northwest follows second behind, 216, no change, no new cases. And Gauteng saw an increase of 3 new cases from 160 to 163. Okay, ZS6IP is returning. Now, one thing that I am going to have to start covering on a more regular basis, again, in the interest of public health and safety, is the issue of COVID. Even though at the moment, COVID cases still only stand at 10 cases with 1 death. The NICD last updated their figures and their reporting are as at the 28th of February, or at least the 31st of March, I should say, somewhere in that region. Let's have a look. Quote, since the last update, 28th of February, 4 new cases have been reported. All new cases were detected in Gauteng province over the last week and have been classified as indigenous cases. None reported recent travel, international or local, and there was no evidence of a direct link to imported cases. 3 of the new cases are in the city of Joburg and are adults who participated in the same traditional healing ritual. 1 case is in Ekurhuleni, where a 10-year-old child with no history of travel and no apparent links to other cases. All new cases are recovering. Now, finally, in closing, ZS6OPS returning. I'd like to encourage everyone to register as a disaster relief cert or community emergency response team volunteer, regardless of who you are, where you are. We need to bring on volunteers in order to deal with the potential threat of disasters, which seems to be on an increase throughout the country. So spread the word and help us to prepare and train our communities to assist local communities when disaster strikes. Moving on, I'd just like to remind everybody that Disaster Relief Cert is not, please take note, is not a radio amateur organization. And those of you that are making such statements, please, I'm going to request you to refrain from doing so. As a non-government organization, we are completely separated from all amateur radio clubs, entities, and otherwise. Even though we may use amateur radio operators as volunteers or allow them to, in actual fact, register, there is no conflict of interest. There is nothing unethical about it. And again, I'm appealing to every radio amateur now to spread the word. We are an official, non-government organization, and that's all there is to it. All right, ZS6OPS returning. So let's check. Are there any other radio amateurs who have not yet checked in? Please provide your call sign now, and I'll add you to this week's checking list. ZS6OPS standing by. Okay, nothing else heard. I'd like to thank all those who checked in this week, as well as those who have joined via Zoom. However, as the COVID-19 pandemic is still ongoing and is infecting millions weekly, please remember to physically distance yourself and to wear a mask to protect others, especially the elderly, who could lose their lives if infected with COVID-19. Remember that it is always best to sanitize or wash your hands on a regular basis in any event. For the week moving forward, be safe, be prepared, and of course, be happy. This is ZS6OPS now releasing the word of word repeater for general use. Cheers all.
Good. You made a little boo-boo.
Why?
You said that you're now reporting on COVID. I think you should have said you were reporting on cholera.
Let me just go back and have a look at that. Hold on.
When you talk about the 6 cases, you said COVID. I think you should have said you were intending to say cholera.
And you know what? This thing did record, but why will it not stop? There we go. Stop the recording. Let me just go back and have a look at what I said there. What did you say that I did?
You said, when you talk about measles, COVID-19 measles,